Hello, friend. Jim here with JBsBigAdventure, coming to you from Lake Chapala, Mexico. And yes, I'm going to share with you the 4 important strategies that could very well help you get your Mexican residency, either a temporal or permanente. But here's the problem that people are having, and that is right now the solvency requirement. In other words, what you have to qualify for income-wise. For a temporal, the average is $4,279. So if you don't make $4,279, then you can't qualify. Or if you've got $71,908 in your bank account, you can qualify. But if you don't, you can't. That's why I'm going to share with you these 4. If you're looking at permanente, now you can't do permanente unless you are in fact retired. The permanente, the average monthly requirement income-wise with the Mexican consulates in the States, $7,337 on a monthly basis that you bring in, or $279,410 a month that you've got seasoned in a bank account. That's another way that you're actually able to basically get the threshold for the solvency requirements. But here's the thing. If you don't have that income, what can you do? Well, if you feel that you're close to being able to solvency requirements, you're looking at doing some things, and you're actually looking for some help, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually leave my immigration attorney's contact info in the description. So in fact, you're able to reach out to her. She doesn't do anything in the States. It's only being done here in Mexico. But there might be some pointers that she can help you with your personal case. I always let everybody know, when it comes to immigration, make sure you're using an attorney. If something happens to go sideways, an attorney can take care of it for you a whole lot better than anybody else. Believe me, we started with who we were thought was an attorney. We were told she was an attorney, and it turned out she wasn't. She was what they called a facilitator. Well, a facilitator is like, the power that they have is like that of a secretary. There isn't anything. But I do know that just like we just had a gal come in to renew her temporal, went through customs, went through immigration, got here. Adriana was sitting down with her and going through things and realized her passport wasn't even stamped. If you're not an attorney, what can you do? You can't just go in as Joe Schmo and go to the airport and says, hey, I need to talk to the guy who didn't stamp my passport. Good luck with that. But Adriana, because of the fact that she is an attorney, she can do that. She can take care. She can make sure that the passport, in fact, gets stamped. So that's kind of a side note. The reason that I share about the facilitators is because we started with one that we thought was an attorney, and it wasn't, and it was a mess. Ended up becoming a big mess. Okay, so I gave you what those requirements were. Now, the next one's called family unit. Family unit is basically, there is a family member. It could be a son, can be a daughter, can be a parent. I'm going to give you what the different categories are. But they come to Mexico and they get their temporal. What they can basically do is you can actually get your residency in Mexico, and it's called family unit. Because once one has it, and if you're in the family, you can actually get it also. Kind of riding with somebody else's coattails. So if you're a spouse of a foreigner, again, a spouse of a foreigner, to get your temporal or even your permanente, you can be the parent of a foreigner. You can be a son or a daughter that's actually of a spouse of a foreign resident, or a foreign spouse of a Mexican national. So I've been with our immigration attorney when in fact we've had some folks that I've gone in and they needed to speak with her because they needed her help take care of things. That's what I just do. I let her take care of that because she's the one that knows what she's doing with over 33 years of experience. I don't have any experience when it comes to being an attorney. So this could very well be a game changer for a lot of people. If you've got a relative that is here, a spouse, a parent, son or a daughter, a foreign spouse of a Mexican national, you can actually get not your citizenship, but your residency as a temporal here in Mexico. That was number 2. Okay, number 3 is called dual citizenship. Dual citizenship is when, in fact, and I'll just give you some examples. So I'm sitting with Adriana with one of my clients, and his grandparents were actually born in Mexico. He could get dual citizenship. There was another one where it was a husband and wife. The husband actually was born in Mexico, but raised in the States, but it didn't matter because he was a permanent. He's a Mexican. So he was able to basically, I guess for a better term, sponsor her. I mean, I think that's part of the term. Now, and they've also got kids. So each one of those children can actually also get their citizenship. It would be dual citizenship. Dual citizenship, because the fact you're a citizen of the States and you can also be a citizen here in Mexico. So there's no requirement for that except it has to go through having an attorney take care of all the paperwork for you. Now, the other way, well, here's the thing. To become a dual citizenship, it's got to be done through birthright, naturalization, and being born to Mexican parents. So the naturalization, depending on grandparents. I mean, here's another thing. If you're going to do that, let's say, for example, that you are a couple and the husband is a Mexican and the wife is an American. The husband get certification, get a citizenship, which would then allow the wife to come in also. So, and it's really important that you actually speak with an attorney about this. I don't want anybody to get messed up on it. I don't want somebody to say, this is the way I'm going to go, and now I can't get help, Okay, that was number 3. Number 4 is what I call article number 54. Okay, this is my favorite, actually. So the Mexican immigration law that has passed, that is law in Mexico, states in Article 54, I want to say it's the 3rd reading, that if, this is how it reads, retirees, pensioners, or who receive an income from a foreign government international qualify for Mexican residency. So here's what that's saying. You've got a Social Security letter, awards letter. You've got a pension letter. You've got some other type of income that you have coming in. Well, the Mexican law states, immigration law. This isn't just Mexican law. It's Mexican immigration law. It's really important to know that. So that's saying that if you're not able to actually, be able to get your residency by any of these ways I told you, then the 4th one is the one you want to work on. Now, how do you do that? In speaking with my immigration attorney here at Lake Chapala, she let me know that she's very aware of it. Here's the challenge, is getting a Mexican consulate to allow you and get the stamp at the Mexican consulate that then says, okay, you can be a temporal, you come in the States. Adriana takes care of getting everything else taken care of after that. So it's an easier way to go. Now, it doesn't mean you're going to go to your first consulate and they're going to accept it. You'll have to do this in person. It will not be something you can do, just over the phone or on internet. That's not that kind of program. But she told me very stringently that it's up to the Mexican consulate. Now, here's what's interesting about the Mexican consulate. They're all different. Some of them require 6 months bank statements. Some require 12. Some require a police report. Some don't, where a lot of them don't. We actually had to provide a letter of why we wanted to move and live in Mexico. So there's different categories and things that happen. But if I was in the position, because we qualified having $1,400 I am almost certain that the number we had to make was $1,800. So we were $400 shy. But when we went into the Mexican consulate, I asked, we had all our documentation. Barbara was really good at getting everything together and getting copies, extra copies of everything. I asked to speak with somebody that spoke English. And this is in Albuquerque. So the gentleman was like the assistant director. He came out and spoke plain English. I think because of the fact that we were living on my wife's income. She was making $1,400 a month in income for Social Security. So what happened was they saw the Social Security letter, but we were still $400 short. I'm sure next, I think that was a number for us, that it was $1,800 that you had to qualify for temporal. So there were some numbers in between, $400 or $300 or whatever the number was. And I think that he saw that not only did we have a condo that we had already rented, that we already had an address, he knew that, I showed him pictures of, stuff that we had packaged in the U-Haul trailer. And so he got it through for us. But if that director didn't know that was in law, then that probably wouldn't happen. But I'm almost certain to think that that's something that got us through. So if I had to do it over again, I would find out, I would probably find some pretty simple cities to get to. Like a lot of folks go to Las Vegas. I understand there it's quick, simple, easy. I've got folks that said they flew there, got their card, and then flew back. I'm sorry, not the card. It got stamped. Your passport gets a stamp inside of it. So easy in, easy out. But you got to be a little bold. You got to be willing to go and says, you got to be willing to print out. What I'm going to include in the description is the document, and it's article number 54. I read it to you in English, but in fact, it's all in Spanish. So anyway, four ways of being able to get your resident visa, whether it be a temporal or permanente, without having to qualify by the solvency requirements. Big money. So, friend, I hope that's been helpful for you. I just wanted to do this real quick video because of the fact I wanted you to know. So with that, thank you so much for being a part of this channel, supporting this channel and the community. Have an awesome day. We'll see you on the next video.